Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to Kate Bush. This is a live performance of the song Wuthering Heights from 1979. Here we go.
Out on the winding, windy moors, sweet roll and falling green. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hard to greedy. How could you leave me when I needed to possess you? I hated you, I loved you too. Bad dreams in the night. You told me I was going to lose the fight. Leave behind that walking through the high-tea blue. Being happy I've come over so far that neither your window is blue. Being happy I've come over so far that neither your window. Oh, it gets dark, it gets lonely on the other side from here. I find the Lord falls through without you. Coming back now, cool his lips, my one true, my only monster.
I have to pause this. I have not seen this performance. I've heard Kate Bush before. I'm pretty sure I've heard this song before. What a trailblazer. Like, she was just so revolutionary and beyond her time when she hit the music scene, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure in a lot of people's opinions, I think that's probably the general consensus. Like, she was just so brilliant, and I am so glad that she found success. I said this recently, like, sometimes individuals are just more receptive to whether it's, conversations or songs or just experiences. And I'm so glad that, like, she entered the scene when people were receptive to her music, because it was unlike everything else. I'm going back to the beginning because vocally, at least with this particular song, a lot more head voice is happening than in some of her other pieces. And it's so fascinating to hear what she did with that. I mean, she creates this completely, I don't know, it's just otherworldly to me, with the way she's using her voice, and in particular her head voice. So we're going back. Okay. I can't tell if it's a fry or if it's closer to a glottal onset, but there is it's a harsher onset than we oftentimes hear when someone is in head voice, which is why I like it.
Out on the winding, windy moors, sweet roll and falling green. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hard to greedy.
The way she said jealousy, it almost feels like she's in character here, because not only is she in head voice, but she's really thinning it out more so than I've heard in other pieces. And it's very bright. There are moments where it's breathy, but then there are other moments where it feels so streamlined, like so consistent, like she's just on the very edges of her folds, and allowing a lot of nasality to help. It's just, there's so many cool colors in this one piece.
How could you leave me when I needed to possess you. I hated you, I loved you too. Benjamin's in the box. You told me I was meant to lose the fight. Leave the high and walking through the high teeth.
I love that she did that. So we're getting back into a chest dominant mix and then back into head voice consistently, like many times.
Benjamin's in the box. You told me I was meant to lose the fight. Leave the high and walking through the high teeth. Being happy I've come over, so you know.
Now this section, when she descended, it got a little warmer. The other, so many things. She is captivating to watch. There is this, it's like, I hate saying the word juxtaposition because it feels so academic, but that's the word that's coming to mind. The contrast with the combination of this almost youthful approach to movement with the maturity and the discernment it takes to make these choices, I think is what is just so captivating and so beautiful watching her perform this. Little slide in there, and the expression with her eyes is just so cool. She does so much. I need to watch this whole show. Like the energy and the commitment it takes to be so on for so long, and I'm only a minute and a half in, you know, like there's a lot going on. This up just a smidge so you can hear. We're getting a little bit more of a mixed sound, but it's still so high, and a big part of that is when you have your CT muscle engaged and you're stretching and thinning the chords, it's really hard to bring that chest voice muscle, that TA muscle, alongside it at the when you hit a certain threshold, that TA muscle is like, I'm tapped out. So when you go up there, instead of trying to bring up that weight because of, you know, we just can't with that muscle, we can find ways of creating that mixed sound, and putting a little bit more press into the chords is one way of doing that. You can also change the shape of your vocal tract to sort of trick the ear into believing there's more muscle engagement than there is. And so I think I backed it up enough. Let's see. Yes. There. So we're still very high and it's still very light, but you can hear how there's a little bit more presence in her sound. Just a tiny bit. Sorry, I didn't realize this was at the end of this recording and we were going to get some credits. This is a beautiful moment right here when she, like, yes, she's picking up flowers and everything, but the fact that she's just still so engaged with her body. And then there's another moment a little later on where you can see like movement and like muscle tension in her arm. I love that as she's wrapping up this show, like we're still seeing so much engagement. It might not have been the best live video to pick only because there were credits at the end, but I'm glad it was from her tour because we got to see so much more of her on stage as opposed to her behind a piano or in a studio setting where she had to be a little bit more confined. So I like that we got more of her performance quality as a whole. If I were just listening to the radio, and I think I could probably hear 3 or 4 of her songs back to back and not know it was the same voice, but perhaps maybe theorize that it was the same artist just because of how creative the music is. But vocally, she just does so many different things. So it would have to be a very specific set list in order for me to know, oh yes, it is the same person. I mean, incredible range, obviously, but what she did with it is just, it's so cool. I think that And it makes me so happy that she had so much success doing things that were not considered typical of the times. I don't know. I think there's just a lot of creativity and artistry in one person, and I'm glad, she was able to share that. So that's it for today. I did a lot of talking throughout. So thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.